VSOP Hip Hop and Wrestling, how you doing? Today we're going to recap the Backlash pay-per-view that was held live in San Juan, Puerto Rico last night. This show was awesome. You should totally go back and watch it on Peacock. Every match was good to great. The Puerto Rican wrestling crowd was on fire. They sold out the arena with 17,000 fans. They didn't even put up their big stage, not even the swinging pendulums. It was a wild, unforgettable night of pure wrestling magic. Let's talk about it. Bianca Belair versus Iyo Sky. Did I mention that this crowd was hot? Because they were going crazy for Iyo Sky. And while the Puerto Rican crowd initially favored Sky, Belair was not bothered at all. Sky had a strategy to disable the champion's upper body and successfully did so, as Belair's left arm was not at full strength. There were so many moments in the match where I actually thought that Iyo Sky was getting ready to dethrone Bianca Belair. Iyo Sky lived up to her name, soaring through the air, high-flying, risk-taking. However, even with the impressive aerial offense, she could not keep Bianca Belair down. Time and time again, Sky tried to ground the champion, but Belair's sheer power proved too much to overcome. Bayley and Dakota Kai made their way to the ring to support Iyo, but they actually made things worse for Iyo Sky. They tried to interfere and distract the referee. Iyo Sky went for her finishing moonsault, but she missed, and that gave Belair enough time to hit the KOD, get the 1-2-3, and she leaves Puerto Rico still the Raw Women's Champion. And that night, she became the modern era's longest reigning women's champion. That match was awesome, a main event level performance by both ladies, and that's just the first match on the show. Next up, Seth freaking Rollins went all out to defeat the massive 7'4" Nigerian giant OMOS. And I would rank this as OMOS's best match so far in WWE. Let me know what you think. Before the match could even start, OMOS knocked out Rollins with a savage kick while he was basking in the crowd's cheers. And when the bell finally rang and the brutality heightened, OMOS seized control and taunted the audience for supporting Rollins. OMOS was feeling himself the entire match. Seth Rollins was able to get the giant down on his knees by targeting Omos's legs, chopping away until the Nigerian giant couldn't stand anymore. Despite being knocked down and hit with a beautiful frog splash, it wasn't enough to keep down Omos. Rollins tried to stop Omos, but he failed. Epic fail. And Omos retaliated with a bone-crushing chokeslam. And what a chokeslam that was. Seth Rollins is in agony. Pain spreading across every fiber of his being, his life flashing before his eyes. He is frozen in time, thinking about better days and calling for his mama. Seth Rollins eventually regained consciousness, slowly, and he was able to get a sleeper hold on the giant to get him down and then hit 2 curb stomps. But that was not enough to take down OMOS. Seth Rollins had to come up with a new plan. Suddenly, he climbed up to the top rope and executed a super curb stomp. Unbelievable force. It's like he summoned lightning from the sky and he was able to get the victory over the Nigerian giant. That match was awesome as well. All right, what's next? The United States champion Austin Theory is about to defend his title against Bobby Lashley and the Tsunami Bronson Reed, so you know what's getting ready to go down. Ain't that right, Biggie?
Big meaty man slapping me.
So the young bull Austin Theory and the mammoth Bronson Reed joined hands to take down the almighty Bobby Lashley. They knew well what they were getting into. They were staring down the barrel of a loaded gun named Bobby Lashley, but they had confidence in their abilities. Alas, it didn't last long. Bronson Reed pulled a Judas and backstabbed Austin Theory like it was just another day in paradise. Bronson Reed was dominating the match, but Austin Theory made a surprising comeback and knocked him off the top rope, leaving him dazed outside the ring. As Theory went for the A-Town down, Lashley countered with his deadly Hurt Lock submission, just as things were looking kind of grim for Theory. Bronson Reed appeared out of nowhere and hit Lashley with a tsunami. Somehow, Theory mustered up the strength to break up the pin, keeping the match alive. Stakes were high as Reed outsmarted Theory and countered the A-Town down, but the big man's moonsault was no match for Lashley's lightning-fast reflexes, as Lashley countered with a spear that could have pierced through the heavens. However, Theory had his eyes set on victory and appeared out of nowhere like a genie out of his bottle, and he tossed Lashley out of the ring. Theory quickly covered Reed and got the victory, leaving Reed and Lashley both in the dust. Selina Vega versus Rhea Ripley. Vega was fighting for her home country of Puerto Rico, but the fierce Rhea Ripley wasn't having it. The match itself was really good. The crowd was hot. They erupted with excitement as Vega made her entrance. She was draped in a Puerto Rican flag that could be seen from outer space. Showing no mercy, Ripley used her raw power to utterly thrash Vega around the ring with ease. Any momentum that Vega might have previously had was quickly dismantled with Ripley's brutal assault, turning the once hopeful crowd into a sea of concern. Just when things were looking hopeless for Vega, she suddenly turned the tides of battle and hit Ripley with a 619, followed by a stunning second rope Meteora. In a cruel twist of fate, Vega's impressive moves only made the Eradicator more pissed. And just like that, Ripley snatched Vega up and hit her with a devastating riptide to cement the victory. As Vega struggled to get back to her feet after the match, the emotional superstar received a thunderous ovation from the WWE crowd in her hometown that was practically ear-splitting. Despite the loss, her fans stood by her side, providing a heartwarming moment that brought tears to Vega's eyes. Things were far from over in Puerto Rico. As the ring was cleared, the anticipation of the upcoming Puerto Rican street fight hung in the air like a thick fog. Fans were ready for some violence, some carnage, some plunder, baby. Next up, we have the global superstar Bad Bunny taking on his former friend and fellow Puerto Rican, Damian Priest. As Bad Bunny made his way down to the ring, he took things up a notch by unveiling a shopping cart filled to the brim with weapons to use against his opponent, including a kendo stick that was given to him from the legend Savio Vega. Damian Priest didn't seem fazed by Bunny's entrance, standing confidently and taunting his opponent, but that did not last long because Bunny proved that he was no joke by hitting a flawless Michinoku driver. As the match progressed, it became clear that Priest's brute strength was beginning to wear Bad Bunny down. Priest took Bad Bunny up and down with a devastating South of Heaven. Priest goes for the pin, but he pulls Bad Bunny's shoulders off the mat. Oh no, not yet. Damian Priest has some more pain that he wants to bring. He is determined to make Bunny pay for his perceived disrespect, and he's not holding back any punches. But things took a sudden turn as Bunny made a comeback, tossing a chair straight into Damian Priest's face, and followed up with an incredible splash to the outside of the ring. It seemed Bad Bunny had finally found his rhythm and the crowd couldn't get enough of it. In the blink of an eye, Priest turned the tables on Bunny and made him pay for his mistake with a relentless barrage of weapons. The two superstars battled their way through the crowd and ended up on the top of a few production crates. Damian Priest got Bad Bunny up in the Broken Arrow and smashed him through multiple tables. Just when it seemed like Priest had secured the victory, he made a critical mistake. Amidst the chaos, he missed a crucial kick, giving Bad Bunny the opportunity that he needed to make a comeback. Bad Bunny grabbed a kendo stick, a chain, and a steel chair, and showed Priest no mercy with each and every weapon. Finn Balor and ex-con Dominic Mysterio hit the ring to run interference for Damian Priest, but we got some special guests in the building tonight to keep things in control. Out comes Rey Mysterio, and then Carlito, yes, Carlito, come to the ring to make the save, and it's all legal because this is a no DQ match, and I totally forgot how tall Carlito was. And then Savio Vega came out to get some, along with the LWO. All kinds of chaos going down at ringside and in the entrance area. Bad Bunny finally hits Damian Priest with his Bunny Destroyer, and he gets the 1-2-3 victory. That match was so much fun, you gotta go back and watch that one. So far, every match has been good to great, and next up we got the Bloodline taking on Matt Riddle and the WWE Tag Team Champions Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Solo Sikoa tagged himself in and he just started knocking Sami Zayn around like he was a piñata at a kid's birthday party. It was brutal, it was intense, it was exactly what you expect from Solo. The Bloodline had Sami Zayn isolated in their corner and they were working him over like a bunch of hungry hyenas. They had their sights set on one thing, and that's victory. Sami Zayn finally made the tag to Riddle, and he came in like a house of fire, taking out every member of the Bloodline. It was like watching a one-man wrecking crew doing work. Kevin Owens wanted a piece of the action, and he came in with a vengeance with a huge swanton bomb that nearly sent the arena into orbit. Jey Uso and Kevin Owens proceeded to have a battle of super kicks. Later in the match, Sami Zayn was left alone with nobody but the Usos, and he took several super kicks right on the chin. Jey Uso has Sami Zayn exactly where he wants him, and he's getting ready to deliver a hip attack, but Solo Sikoa tagged himself in. Jey Uso was not pleased whatsoever. The two brothers got heated and began arguing in the ring. And that is bad timing because sure enough, Sami Zayn took advantage of the situation and went for the haluva kick. But unfortunately, it did not hit its targeted recipient. Solo Sikoa eats the boot instead of Jey. The action just broke down in the ring and things started to get out of hand. In a moment of frustration, Sikoa grabbed Jey as if he was getting ready to give him that thumb to the throat with the Samoan spike. But before things could escalate any further, Sami Zayn knocked both men down to the canvas. But amidst all of the mayhem, Riddle and Sikoa became the legal men in the ring, and Sikoa hit the Samoan spike on Riddle, thumb to the throat. That's all she wrote. 1, 2, 3. The Bloodline are victorious. And the plot continues to get thicker and thicker as Solo Sikoa and Jey Uso lock eyes in a stare-down post-match. But the stare-down didn't last for long. Everybody was able to put back on their cool hats and celebrate the win. All right, it's time for our main event, the American Nightmare versus the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Before the bell even rang, Rhodes went on the attack, grabbing a steel chair, grabbing the steel steps, and laying into Lesnar like a man possessed. He continued his assault on Lesnar, hitting him with everything that he had, but when Cody went for his Cody cutter, he got caught. And Cody Rhodes has to feel the pain from a thunderous German suplex that shook the entire ring. Brock Lesnar's famous catchphrase was, "Here comes the pain." And during this match, Lesnar certainly brought the pain. And just when you thought Lesnar was going to completely dominate the match, Rhodes turned the tables and sent the Beast face first into an exposed turnbuckle. Now the blood is pouring down Brock Lesnar's face, and he is pissed. Brock Lesnar's about to channel his inner Kratos and go into rage mode. Cody Rhodes was able to hit the crossroads twice, but Brock Lesnar was able to power through. Brock was able to hit a huge F5 and then lock in the Kimura submission, but in a brilliant move by Cody Rhodes, he was able to counter it and get Brock Lesnar's shoulders pinned to the mat for the 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes has beaten the Beast Brock Lesnar. This match was awesome, and this is a huge win for Cody Rhodes. But if you look at Brock Lesnar's face, if you look at that expression, you can tell that this loss is not marking the end of this feud. It is clear that Brock Lesnar is going to stop at nothing to make Cody Rhodes suffer. Brock Lesnar is Cody Rhodes' nightmare. So that's my recap of Backlash. I thought it was an amazing show. I highly suggest you go back and watch it. And I also highly suggest that you click that like and subscribe button and share it with your peeps. I appreciate you. Have a good week. VSOP out.
Right now, you're checking out the SOP.
Hip hop and wrestling, hip hop and wrestling.